Hi, welcome to the Board Game Spotlight. I'm Lizzie.
I'm Derek.
And today we're going to be doing a playthrough of
Hex Roller.
So this is a pretty simple game to learn. What you're going to do, first of all, is grab a sheet of paper, the dice, something to write with, and then we're going to take it to the table. So in Hex Roller, there's no first player. Everything is simultaneous. You can choose one person to roll the dice. You can take turns. It doesn't really matter. What you're going to do, though, is roll the dice, if you will, for us.
Sure. I'm a good dice roller. It's an acquired skill.
Yeah. Derek will then separate the dice into like numbers. Oh, that was an
I rolled a lot of
excellent
threes.
roll. And 3 8s. Okay. So all the actions after this are going to be simultaneous. Each player is going to choose one number to write on their player board. And you have to start next to a number that is already pre-printed. So if I'm going to choose the 8s, I have to either write it over here in the blue by this 8 or in the yellow by this 8. If I was to choose 3, same thing. If I was to choose the 4, here or here. Now, once you have written a number, all subsequent numbers that are the same number have to follow off that same one. You can't start a 3 here and then all of a sudden come down here and go that way. So once you finish doing the first number, you're going to do the same thing, but with the second number. And then at the end, you're going to write down the 2 numbers that you used that round on the bottom left-hand side of the paper.
Right. So we're getting 2 numbers around.
2 numbers around. You're going to keep track of those numbers that you use. Because this is the important thing. At the end of the 7 rounds, you're going to score, and where you place those numbers is going to be really important. So, Derek, why don't you tell us about the bonuses, and then we'll go to scoring.
Yeah, so throughout the game, you have 3 bonuses that you can take advantage of. If you don't use the bonuses, then they're actually worth 2 points at the end of the game. Not a lot of points, but it is some.
I mean,
and the abilities are really good.
Yes.
So the first one you can do is you can place, like let's say I took these 8s, I could use this ability to make a 4th 8. It adds +1 to whatever die you're drafting. The 2, this is a little odd, and I've seen some questions about this, but essentially this can be placed in any of the areas as a 2 because there's a little bit of area control happening on the board. Like you're trying to
fill up the areas.
Right.
So if you're one
Area
number
control
away,
as far as like you're trying to
it gives
fill up an
you,
area.
it just fills up the space.
Yeah, but that's what the
I
2's
think it's
for.
super useful. I like it.
No, not that I don't like it, but it could. Why isn't it like a 0 or just make like a mark or something like an X?
Because it's less than a 3, so.
No, that's actually that's.
Because that's important. We'll get to that in a minute.
That is important. Then you have the other one, which is to take a 3rd dice. So after you draft 2, you can draft a 3rd number. Of course, in this scenario, you'd only have a 4, so maybe you might want to wait when there's more groups of numbers, because there likely will be anywhere from 3 to 5 different groupings of numbers. And yeah, those are the bonuses.
So then after the game would end, after the 7 rounds, or 6 if you're using the opposite side, it becomes harder on the opposite side, you're going to go to scoring. So the scoring is laid out on the left side. First, you're going to look at any bonuses you have left over, get 2 points each for those. Then you're going to go to the outside hexes. So every hex on the outside that's filled in, so if this purple one was completely filled in, you would pick the number that shows up the most in that and place that in the hex. So if I got 4 6s in here and only 3 3s in there, 6 would be the higher number. I would score 6 points for that hex. If there happens to be a tie, because you could have multiple numbers in the same hex, you go with whatever number is higher.
Right.
So you'll probably get several of those hexes filled in. You're going to score points for those. And then we're going to move to the center hex. So this orange conglomeration you see in the center, you're going to do pretty much the same thing, except whatever number is highest in that thing, you are going to double it. So if you're able to get a 5 in there, and that is the most used number in the middle, you will double it. Again, if there's a tie, go with the higher number.
And it has to be completely filled in to even be able to score that.
No
now, that's
spaces.
Important.
So that's where the 2 might come in handy if you're trying to fill up a space and you're like, oh, I only need 1, or I left a hole where, you know, I can't get the 5 in there because I put the 3 around the other side.
Well, that's also important in all of the areas.
Yes.
If there's a hole, you're not able to score it. And really, that's one of the main ways that you're going to score victory points.
Yes.
So the other one you have is for some route building, which is pretty cool. A little bit of route
building, yeah.
So essentially, you will score points if you connect numbers. So if you connect the 3s together, you score 3 points. If you connect the 4s, you get 4 points.
Etc., etc.
So on and so on. But if you'll notice on the board, The 8s are the furthest away. They are much harder to connect because you have a lot of other numbers that go through that. So
And if you're going to get the 8 and the 8, it's going to cut off all the other numbers, pretty
not
much.
only that, but it is also a press your luck because you have to be able to take the 8s to place them there. So that's, you know...
It's going to be difficult.
Yeah, it's not easy.
Because the last thing you need to know, the bottom left corner where you're keeping track of all the numbers, there is a reason to that. If you can get all the numbers 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 in there, there's only, what is it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 spots?
Yeah,
There's 7 spots, so you have a very limited number of numbers that you can go in there. You're going to start with the 3 and count up, and if you can get all the way to 8, you're going to score 8 points. But if for some reason you skip a number, you didn't get it, so like say I have 1, 2, 3, I did not get a 5, or 3, 4, and you didn't get a 5,
yeah.
you're only going to score 4 points. So you have to have a 3 to score at least 3 points, and then as high as you can count up, you're going to score those points. They do not have to be in order, so they don't have to go 3, 4, 5.
Right.
If you have it's 8, 7, 3, 6,
But
4,
if you
5.
happen to miss one of those numbers, it's going to cut off your scoring.
It is.
So,
So
basically
it's
wherever it chops off, those are the points you're going to score.
Exactly.
And that's it.
That is. And then you're going to add up all the points that you've gained, and whoever has the highest score wins.
All right, let's dive in.
Okay. Are we going to use those? No, we're not going to use those.
I mean, I did roll them. Sure, let's go for
Well,
it.
I mean, you're going to move them all out.
Let's go for it.
Okay.
They did legit roll those.
You did legit roll those. Okay, I'm going to move mine because I'm left-handed, so it's going to be a bit easier for me.
3. So we'll do that. Oh, and I need to take another number. Do I go for the 8s? You know what? I'm going to do it. Living life dangerously.
Okay. I have also taken the 8 and the 3. Shocking.
Okay. Do you want to go ahead and...
Ooh, that was excellent.
I'm rolling really well. I told you I'm a good roller.
We're going to let you roll all the numbers. Okay, so it might look like those are 9s, but there's only 6s in the game. It does not go past 8, so those are obviously just 6s.
Yes.
Just pointing that out, though.
Well, I'll take the 7s.
Copycat.
And I'm actually going to plus 1 to that and add a 5th. So I can get those there. Fill that in. And...
Okay.
1 second. I think I'll take the 5. Where's the other 5 at? There. If I go that way. Okay, I'll put the 5 right there. Cool. You want me to roll again?
Yes.
Another 8, which is good. Ooh, 2 8s. Couple 3s. Couple 6s. Wow, 3 6s. Okay. I don't want to double up again on an 8, but I feel like I have to because I really need to hit this 8 here. So I need... I'm not going to score any points down there, but I'm trying something different this time.
Wow. We only had 1 4 that was at the very beginning, so we're both going to get stuck at 3 on that top row.
Well, maybe.
I don't know. What am I going to do?
Maybe. I just want to take one more number here.
Taking the 8s.
I'm going to take the
They're higher.
6s. Do that. Do that.
Did you take 2 numbers?
Yeah.
Somebody missed one.
No, I took the 3s. Oh, I took
Did you write it down in the left-hand corner?
a 5. Nope, I took a 5
Okay.
last round.
Okay. There you go. Okay. Shake it, shake.
Wow, look at all these 8s. This is awesome. There's a 4 though. Ooh, those 5s.
Finally, some 5s.
Oh,
I need
this is dangerous.
4s and 5s. Curse you.
This is dangerous. 2 would get me up there. I'm gonna do it though. So I'm gonna take another 8. take 5s. And that's 3 5s. Wow. Okay, so I'm starting the bottom row with a 5.
Starting in the bottom row with a 4.
Okay, alright, here we go.
Only 3 turns left. We're over halfway.
I could use, whoops, that was a 4. I could use some more 5s, that would be fantastic, but 8s would be even better.
Ooh, I need those 4s. I can't believe I'm taking double 4s.
What? There's 3 4s.
I know. I did it back to back.
Oh, sure. Well, hey, if you need it, you need it.
Okay, so
I'm going to take the
4s.
5s. So I'm going to go 5 and 5. And then I'm going to take the lone 8.
I'm going to take that 3. Also going to take that 2 just to fill this in.
Man, oh man, oh man. Okay. Do I want to take a 3rd? That's a good question. You know what? I am going to take a... Ooh, maybe I want to wait though. Nope, I'm going to go ahead and take it. So I'll take a 3rd die. That's going to be the 4s. And I'm going to write those in right there.
Okay.
Okay. There it is. There it is. Oh my goodness. 4 8s.
Okay, I'm going to...
So it's 2 6s, a 5, and a 7. So I think I'll take the 2 6s.
That 8.
And it'd be great to be able to
Take that 5.
get 8 out of that. You know what? I'm going to put a 6 here and a 6 here. And I'm going to use my 2. And I'm going to put a 2 right here.
Mm-hmm.
And take another number, which I could take a 5.
Okay, so this one I'm going to have to do...
It's going to give me 5 in that hex though. And I want 8.
Okay, I'm going to do...
I could take a 7.
that.
Nope,
I'm going
can't
to do
take a
6.
7. I could over here.
Mhm.
Man, I really wish I could use those 4 8s. Man, really messed myself up there. But I took the 6s already, so I guess I'll take the 7 and I'll put it there and I'll hope for the best. So this is the last round.
Okay, I'm going to need you to roll some 7s.
I mean,
Like a lot of 7s.
I would love. I gave you 2.
I'll
Some
take it.
4s, 3 5. No, 2 5s and 3.
Okay, so I'll take that 7. So there's 2 7s, so 7, 7.
Oh, I did it. If I take that 6, I place it here.
Take that 4.
And then there's no 8s though, so I'm really in trouble there.
And I don't need to use one more, so I'm going to get 2.
But I could take the 2 4s, place them right here. Oh, so had I just taken a 3 here, I would have had 3 4 5 6 7 8.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the way it works. Okay. Are we ready to? Oh, you're already into scoring?
Oh, I'm in.
You're already just diving in. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, 7. Did not get that. So I have 2 8s, 2 6s, and 2 5s. Because there's a tie, I can take the highest, correct?
Yes.
So I get an 8.
Wow. That
I
worked
know.
out really well for you.
Yes, it did. Almost like I planned it. But I didn't get that, which kind of hurts, but whatever. So that is 15. So then it's in the middle, it's the number that's they're the most, right? So. Oh, it's a 3. I was 1 away from getting an 8 there, which would have been amazing. But I only get 6. Lame.
Okay.
And then here I have a 3, but I missed a 4 here, so I just get 3 points. And I missed a 3 here, so I get 0. Oh, it looks like 30 though.
No, it's not.
So
What about
15.
connections? Did you not
What?
get any connections?
Oh, I did. Yes, thank you.
So be like, whoa.
I get 3. I did not connect the 4s. I missed the 8, which killed me because I was
You were one away.
I know. And at one time there were 4 8s. I was one more than what I needed. I could have placed all 3 of those 8s there. Not only connected the 8s, got 8 here. Like,
ooh, that's intense.
yeah, really, really close. So I think I've got, do I have any other? Oh, I connected 5s. Boop, boop, boop. So there. So we got 5, so that's another 8 points. So it looks like 21, 29, 32 points. Does that look right? Let me just double check that. 21, 29, 30, 31, 32. I don't even want to know what you scored. It's all good. Don't even need to mention it.
61.
So how well did you fill in?
I filled in
5.
all but one of the outer hexes. I only got 3s in the center, but hey, 6 points is 6 points. I had 1 leftover bonus.
I
did 3, 4, and 7 connections, and then I got a 3 and a 5 on the bottom.
I just want to say, I would have scored an additional 16 points had that worked correctly, and 16 points would have given me 50 points. No, 48 points. Yeah, 48 points, which would have been a little closer, but you still would have crushed me. But at least that makes me feel a little better. So, Hex Roller is coming out from Renegade Games. I believe it's coming out in Origins. Yes. Let's just say in the next couple months.
Sometime over the summer. We're going to go with that.
There we go, summer. And if you are a fan of roll and writes, right up your alley.
Both of us are.
I mean, the route connections are really interesting.
It's new and different. I have not seen that in another roll and write that I can like.
Knock Mall has route building because you're making the crosses in colors, but this specifically is asking.
It's not route building.
It is route building because you're building routes to complete columns and rows.
But they're already predetermined.
I understand that, but you still are like figuring out which. I mean, it's close.
You're not building the routes; you're filling them in. I feel like that's totally different.
Okay, well, I'll agree with that. But this is a route building game, and where you're trying to connect to the numbers, and you can kind of go around
actually
however
making
you want to do it. Although Steamrollers does route building, but that's literally drawing routes, and I think Let's Make a Bus does routes too.
I have not played that.
But
so this is my first route building roll and write, so I'm gonna say that.
Well, what this does is it's using the numbers you draft to build your routes, and I think that's new and unique,
yes.
and I like that.
I do.
I have not seen that portion anywhere else. And I like the simultaneous drafting of the dice.
Yes.
Roll them. This is the communal
pool. I love that there's no like first player and there's no people going to be like, oh, is it my turn? Did you roll? Like, if you want to roll a dice, you can. If you're like, whatever, you do it. I'll just sit back and use the numbers. You can. It's a lot less messy than trying to be like, wait, whose turn is it?
Yeah, and some of the roll and writes, you can start to like, oh, did you just go? Is it my turn? Like, that does happen.
Yeah.
And this one, it's very quick.
Very quick.
So, very much
I mean, once you know the rules, you can do a game in 10-ish minutes.
It's probably not in my personal, like, top 5 or might be just outside my top 10 of, like, roll and writes when we talk as a category as a whole. I mean, I enjoy it. It's good for what it is. It's better than... I
would say this is a good filler roll and write. This is not going to be like a welcome to math heavy.
Right.
This is a fun filler, and it does what it does very well.
That is true. This is, if you were going to do a roll and write night, that sounds fun, by the way.
We should do that.
This would be like an intro or between or maybe an ending, you know, with main showcases of Fleet Dice Game, Welcome to, God's Shown Clever, those types of things. But this is very much like the weight of something like Quicks or Quinto. Again, very, very quick. And because it plays, I think it was 1 to 6, 1 to 6. I mean, technically, you could play
1 to 8.
Okay.
It says on the table or on the board 1 to 8.
I don't see any reason why you couldn't play this with more people because it's all simultaneous and you're not removing anything.
I think the biggest problem would be being able to see the dice.
Yeah, I guess 8's probably the max you can get around the table. But anyways, because of that, the number of players is going to scale extremely well, and it's not going to take much longer than 10 or 15 minutes, like even with a full table of 8.
Yep. As long as everyone can see the dice and can make their decisions quickly, you know, in a reasonable manner.
Of course. So
I like it.
It definitely gets...
It's going to keep its spot in our collection.
For sure. We need to come up with, like, Spotlight approval or Spotlight...
Spotlight would play this. We'll keep it.
Thanks so much for watching, everybody.
Good night.